Mend with me. Hi, my name's Lauren, I teach Visible Mending, and today I want to show you a different way to tackle heel bite. We're using a scrap piece from a persimmon flower whole sheet pattern and all of these supplies. To begin, we are going to clean up our mend as always. This pant leg still had the hem intact, so we are going to mend it as is, and I'm not going to cut any of that away. I'm just cutting away frayed threads. I used a ruler to measure the size patch I'm going to need, and I used an iron at first just to make sure there was nothing wrinkly, and I got a true square patch because I want this to look nice and neat. I pressed in the seams with right sides facing up because I want to see the right side of this fabric. Because the pants are pretty much still intact, there's just frayed threads and a hole. I don't really necessarily have to reconstruct this area, so I'm using a cotton fabric. This is more for looks than it is structure. And I placed the right side of the fabric on the inside of my pants and just folded over that bottom hem so you can see it covering. I've pinned everything in place, absolutely everything, so this patch does not move as I am sewing it, and this will just keep everything nice and neat and non-bunchy. So I grabbed some matching thread from my scrap jar and I used the whip stitch to tack down the fabric around the tear in that half moon shape. And now I'm using the running stitch and the same thread, and I'm just sewing around the entirety of that patch, tacking it down. I'm trying to make my threads nice and neat, even though you won't see it very well because these are not going to be snipped away later. And after ironing it down so everything is nice and flat, this is pretty much done, and you can wear it like this. Of course, I'm going to add some more embroidery, and I am using a scrap piece from our persimmon whole sheet. I kept this one thin strip around because I thought I would be able to use it, and alas, here is my chance. I decided to use a navy Sashiko thread that I sell in our shop, and this is me just using the running stitch, covering every horizontal dash, going from left to right, and then I just cover all the vertical dashes going up and down. I chose not to embroider the pattern in that hole, and this is me finishing it up. In total, I think this took me about 3 hours to do, maybe less. My patch fabric is pretty thin, and these jeans are already kind of thin. This wasn't too hard, it went pretty quickly for me, and it wasn't too hard on the hands. Once I am finished embroidering, all I'm going to do is flip it inside out and tie off all of my knots. And this is what it's going to look like when it's all finished before you wash it in the washing machine. And this is what it'll look like when it's all finished. I really love the way this came out. It's a little different from the other method I showed you. If you're interested in the star pattern mend video, you can find that on my page. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful. And as always, I'll catch you on the next.